Hello everybody, welcome back to the United Stand. Scott McTominay is facing an uncertain future at Manchester United for many reasons. Fred excelling in his position at the minute, Sabitzer possibly coming in on a permanent move, Kobe Mainoo coming through the ranks, possibly pushing Scott McTominay out the door, making him fourth or fifth choice in midfield. I'm basically going to go into why I think this might be the end of Scott McTominay. Now you guys, some of you, are going to be very chuffed to hear of why I actually think Scott McTominay might be coming, or his Manchester United career might be coming to an end. Now look, I don't think he is as bad as what people, or certain people, make out he is. He is definitely not up to the standards of your Casemiro, you know, Eriksen, Sabitzer. He's almost stuck in what he can and can't do, in my opinion. He is very much exposed. I mean, look, him and Fred, when they were playing together, it was very clear that they were basically trying to do the same role. They were trying to cover for each other because neither were capable enough of doing it by themselves. So now Casemiro has been brought in. It's complete night and day. It's allowed Fred to be released further up the pitch and be that more box-to-box midfielder, which I do think we can all agree he is succeeding at. And, you know, he's scoring, he's getting assists. But talking about numbers, we'll go into Scott McTominay's numbers. Obviously, he has missed a few games due to injury, but in the league, he's played 16 games, amounting to 778 minutes. Well, you can see it all there. He's pretty much played 28 games, 2 goals, 1 assist, amounting to just over 1,200 minutes. So I'm going to say he's not playing anywhere near the same amount of minutes that he was, obviously, under Ollie. Which is to be expected when you've had Casemiro come in, you've had Eriksen come in, and you've had Fred playing the way he's been playing. Also, as I say, injury will come into this. It will play a big part. He has been unavailable for a fair few amount of games through injury. He also was suspended, I believe, for 1 or 2 games. And he's not been involved in the squad for a couple of games as well. So overall, I mean, you know what's weird or a little bit odd about Scott McTominay for me is I don't actually know where his best position is. Sometimes Erik Ten Hag has deployed him last 5 minutes of a game, even as like a number 9, because he actually came through the youth academy. We're talking like young youth academy. As a forward, as a striker. This is almost like target man striker. He scored a few goals at youth level. There's a few clips out there where he actually looks pretty decent. So, and I do think he does have uses in midfield. There is the saying, horses for courses. Sometimes Scott McTominay can be brought on for something, you know, height and heading ability. That's all that comes off the top of my head, really. You know, in terms of him and Casemiro, and this goes for a lot of players. They don't match up to Casemiro, but Casemiro showing what he has been able to do so far in this season, you know, it shows how badly we've needed a number 6 in that position, in my honest opinion. Now, if you even compare him to Fred, Fred has played 36 games, so he's played 8 more games than Scott McTominay. And he's also played, I think it's around 1,600 minutes, I'm afraid. I mean, I'm made aware of. 10 goal contributions for Fred, so equaling his best goal contribution season. I believe it was flipped. I think it was last season where he got 4 goals and 6 assists. He's now on 6 goals and 4 assists. So getting forward and being that box-to-box tenacious midfielder. Obviously, he's fighting for a new contract at Manchester United. Will he get that? That's a topic for a whole nother discussion. But I think the main thing for me is that when Scott and Fred, or McFred as they were called, were playing together, they were limited. And now Casemiro's come in. He obviously had that relationship with Fred. Almost, McTominay's been left out to dry a little bit. We obviously had the addition of Eriksen. Now McTominay cannot do anywhere near what Eriksen is able to do creativity-wise, assists, passing ability. Scott McTominay, for his uses with his head, maybe a little bit of sometimes grit and determination. You know, he's Scottish, so Scottish people are very much known for their physicality within football. You know, Andy Robertson loves a little tussle here and there. You know, it's a good part and a good strength to have, which is, you know, what he excels at. But for me, I just think that there comes a time and a place, as I say, Sabitzer being possibly made permanent, Mainoo being not necessarily fast-tracked, because I don't think anyone's going to be fast-tracked under Ten Hag. You don't get given opportunities, you have to earn them. So, but he's an exciting young player again. Probably going to be much better than Scott McTominay. And the big thing for me with Scott McTominay is, if we are to sell him, and that's the next topic, how much can we get for him? 20, 30, 40 million, let me know in the comments. It's going to be judged as pure profit, because he did come as a prospect through the academy. In terms of financial fair play, it is pure profit. So when it comes to balancing the books, all that, and as I say, financial fair play, it's brilliant. It's what Chelsea have been pretty good at. They've been able to, sell the likes of Tammy Abraham, Tomori, these players for significant fees, which then helps them out in the long run with financial fair play, allowing them to spend that little bit more money in order to bring in the likes of Enzo Fernandez, etc. Madrid. But how much can we get for Scott McTominay? I think, there was links to Newcastle, I think it was, wasn't it, for figures being thrown around of like 40 odd million. Incredible. I'd bite your hand off if we could get that. Incredible amounts of money. But I think he is a Premier League midfielder, in all honesty. But he's he's more of like a mid-table Premier League midfielder. I just think in the direction that Manchester United are going in, under Ten Hag specifically, that high line, especially what Casemiro offers, getting it off the back four, playing in the half turn, demanding the ball. Scott McTominay doesn't do that. And even if he's trying to do that, he's not good enough and capable enough to do that. So as I say, let me know how much you think that we can get for Scott McTominay. I reckon we could get around 30 million. And again, that's all good, pure profit. But now we'll move on to Sabitzer. The fact that, the possibility of him coming in permanently for what we imagine around 20, 25 million. You see him there. He's obviously, he couldn't have come in at a better time, right? He hasn't even played hardly any games, since he's joined, in terms of how long it's taken him to then win a trophy. It's incredible. Obviously, he wasn't a part of the first games, but the impact that he's had has been really, really good. He's shown his ability. He's shown what the work rate and desire. We hoped we knew what we were going to get, and he has shown that. I remember his first appearance coming on and geeing up the Old Trafford crowd and being like, yeah, come on, this is what we're about. So I love that. I really do. And I feel like that will be, if he wants to make it happen, and if the fee is right, that will be another permanent move, further pushing McTominay out the door, in my opinion. And we'll move on to Kobbie Mainoo. This guy, I don't even know off the top of my head, 17, 18, young kid, has been given opportunities. And actually, I take that back. He hasn't been given them, has he? He has obviously earned the opportunities under Erik ten Hag, and that is the big thing. So when he has earned them, he's therefore been given them. And, I'm not going to lie, he hasn't shown what needs to be shown quite yet to be given a substantial amount of minutes. But what it's all about at that age is being a part and mixing it with these first teamers, being around the atmosphere, and showing that you can, in training. He's obviously showing that he's got more than enough capability to mix it with the likes of what we have. And he's obviously got a very, very bright future at Manchester United. And I want to kind of round this off with the fact of what I said earlier of the fact McTominay has kind of been left almost in limbo, I think. Fred has been able to succeed for the most part. Don't get me wrong, he doesn't always have the best of games, but he has been able to succeed for the most part, especially when alongside Casemiro. Now, we haven't seen, off the top of my head, I can't remember, but there must have been a time where Casemiro and McTominay have been on the pitch together. And I feel like as much as they're so far apart in ability, I don't think you could play a midfield three of like Casemiro, McTominay and Bruno, for instance. I really don't think that works, especially with the long-term strategy. There we go, third time lucky. That Erik ten Hag is looking to deploy in this team. That's the main thing. Moving forward, Scott McTominay, for me, is a great squad option. We're talking maybe for the rest of this season. Obviously, we're not going to be able to get rid of anyone now. But as soon as certain offers come in the summer, especially with the likes, if we, we've won the Carabao Cup, if we do manage to now go on and win another one, get top 4, that does bump the price tag up a little bit, possibly stretching to 40, 50 million. It sounds crazy. Stranger things have happened. We paid 80 million for Maguire, remember? So, yeah, I mean, I just long term, for me, McTominay, he's got to go, in all honesty. And I know a lot of you are gonna be thinking about that thumbnail ages ago where I said McTominay over Casemiro. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it, all right? There's people laughing right now. He's laughing in there, 100%. But, yeah, we'll round it off there. Let me know your guys' thoughts as to how much you think we can get for McTominay. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.